Perry Duckles in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. My name is Chris Chichester. I've never committed a crime. The name of this YouTube is, what is the name of your prosecutor with a speech impediment in Penfield Town Court? You know why that's the name of this YouTube, Perry? Your prosecutor didn't talk twice in Penfield Town Court. First when I appeared before John P. Lomenzo Jr., next before I appeared in front of bald-headed, wig-wearing Paul Lomenzo. Not one word, not one sound, not one syllable. How am I delivered to jail, Perry Duckles, in the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, when a prosecutor doesn't talk? What is the name of the female prosecutor before John P. Lomenzo Jr. and the male prosecutor before Paul Lomenzo that didn't talk? And I've been asking this repeatedly because I asked it on January 9th. Matter of fact, I'm demanding it. Freedom of Information Law is not a request, even though it says request on it. It says right here, and this is attached on January 9th. What's today's date, Perry? Because Donald Trump was president of the United States on January 9th, and Joseph R. Biden is now president of the United States. So we had the inauguration of a new president. So on January 9th, the documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester before John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doyle? And then another FOIL. Freedom of Information Law is called FOIL. You should know that. Documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester for Paul Lomenzo in Penfield Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doyle? Total silence both times. Perry Duckles, how am I delivered to jail? First at Monroe County Jail, next at Livingston County Jail, when the prosecutor doesn't talk. How does that happen in the United States of America to an innocent man? So, Perry, I'm concerned you don't understand the English language. I'm just asking for information. And I'm using, Perry, the English language to communicate with you. So harness the power of your JD and tell me the names of your two assistant district attorneys who don't talk before these fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths in Penfield Town Court. Now, Perry, I'm demanding the name. I'm using the English language on these foils that I just read. Now, Perry, when I was at the State University of New York at Stony Brook, I had the Random House Webster's College Dictionary. See right there, Perry? It even says College Dictionary. So when I was at SUNY, I had this dictionary, College Dictionary for college students. And all the language that I used on these Freedom of Information Law documents for you, Perry, baby. You see this, Perry? This is the English language right here. Did you understand the English language when you received your JD at law school? Because this is the English language on the Freedom of Information Law document. So, Perry, if there's any confusion from you about the language I used on the foil, then you open up this big dictionary here. You see this, Perry, right here, where it says College Dictionary, Webster's. They're the experts on words. You understand me, Perry? So right here, Random House 2. This is the big book for you. This is the big book for the big brain of Perry Duckles at the district attorney's office. And you, Perry, are paid $129,525 to fail to understand the English language in this dictionary. Do you understand me, Perry? And now, Perry, because in 2021, we can communicate in any number of ways. Do you need my number here? Do you want to call me on my portable phone here? Because I may be going to Rochester to donate plasma and CSL plasma. I got a lot of things going on. I have to go to the gym, I have to run, I have to bike. I don't know how it's going to work out with the snow, but I'm going to try. So you can call me on the phone, Perry. And then, see, when you call me, I answer the phone. And then you provide me, Perry, baby. You know what the answers I'm demanding here? And what I'm demanding is the name of your two prosecutors, Perry, who don't talk in Penfield Town Court. Abolish this court by redirecting defendants away from Paul Lomenzo and James P. Melly Jr. Paul C. Metzer took the place of this disgusting, repulsive hack, 70-year-old John P. Lomenzo Jr. Is the name Daniel Glaus III? Sound familiar to you? I'm not going to go into his case, but he's a child rapist, an accused child rapist in Penfield, and he was observed by witnesses on 5 Mile Line in Penfield. I know where that is because I ride my bike down there. And he's accused of attempting to rape children. So he's observed by these witnesses. He's arrested. There are legitimate arrests. and deposited in front of John P. Lomenzo Jr. John P. Lomenzo Jr. knows Dan DeLouse II, and he frees the third. And then Dan DeLouse III is arrested for doing the same thing because the child rapist rapes children, attempts to rape children. This is the guy I have to appear in front of. What is the opinion of the employees at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office of John P. Lomenzo Jr.? There's total confusion from this guy, and that's why he resorts to, just like Paul C. Metzger and James P. Mellon Jr., guilty, 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 guilty. So, Perry, when was someone acquitted in Penfield Town Court? I'm going to tell the United States Department of Justice that no one is acquitted in Penfield Town Court because this bald-headed, wig-wearing extremist Paul Metzler and extremist James P. Mellon Jr. on December 16th, the name, charge, and sentence of every defendant in Penfield Town Court for John P. Lomenzo Jr., James P. Mellon Jr., and Paul Metzler. There's 10-plus Freedom of Information law documents I've sent to them. 10-plus times. Name, charge, and sentence of every defendant in Penfield Town Court, and they're refusing to comply. I had a bench trial imposed upon me for the express purpose of delivering me to jail. How does that happen in the United States of America? How does this hatred exist in Penfield, New York? I moved here in 2012, my ex-girlfriend Laura, and I love a lot of things about Penfield. And I now despise Penfield, New York because of Penfield Town Court and that library. And when I would go over to see Laura at the library where she worked, I do not know, when I open up the door to go into the library, at the end of the hall is Penfield Town Court. So even though Laura, and we live together, works at Penfield Public Library, I do not know that that's where James P. Mellon Jr. and John P. Lomenzo are. Because I got one speeding ticket in 30 years since I left 101st Airborne Division. I was driving down Washington Avenue on my way to Capitol in Albany to go to work, and I was going about 5 miles an hour over. And a friend of mine, when I went to Albany City Hall, which is where the court was, contacted an attorney, and I went there with a pro bono attorney, and he had a sidebar with the judge and was dismissed. That's it. One speeding ticket. Perry, how's it a crime for me to walk outside, stand right here, tell a guy in his tractor from Broccoli Tree and Lawn Care that nobody owns Atlanta walks back to my house? I'm outside for 30 seconds. A guy named Elliot Roth works at this business, Consumer Insights. He tells me I'm walking through the park like 4,000 times. I'm going to be arrested. That's because Shannon Meyer, Todd Baxter's $67,000 a year whack job, met with Steve Desert of Broccoli Tree and Lawn Care, and they're figuring out how to get me to come out of the house. I come out of the house one day, I say nobody owns Atlanta, walk back in my house. How's that a crime, Perry? That's not a crime. I go to the now defunct PW Fitness. Up walks to me Jermaine Benman. He goes like that. I don't acknowledge this guy at the gym. He stands over, he punches out. My head snaps back violently. A witness calls the Monroe County Sheriff Office. Andrew Reale arrives. $79,000 Andrew Reale knows me because he's been to my residence, his parking lot. And he decides he's going to put the screws to me. He's going to concoct the crime for me. Perry, do you believe that someone charged with harassment second is harassing another human being? That there's a victim? Welcome to my world, because I'm charged with harassment second. I'm not harassing anyone. I've never harassed anybody in my life. Every friend, every family member, every girlfriend, every coworker, everybody's known me. Well, confirm that fact. And this ticket is going to say harassment second. So, Perry, Jermaine Benman snaps my head back at the gym, and Jessica Wagner is the defense attorney for Jermaine Benman, because Jermaine Benman walked right at the door in Penfield Town Court when he appeared before James P. Mellon Jr. Jessica Wagner is no longer employed at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Why? Perhaps because your colleague was serving as a defense attorney for Jermaine Benman and other criminals. You know, Jessica Wagner should contact George Costanza and learn how to do the opposite. Because that's what you're doing at the district attorney's office. At the district attorney's office, you don't understand what constitutes criminal behavior. You're the George Costanza district attorney's office. So anyway, Jermaine Benman snaps my head back. I do not respond, and every day I think, why don't you just take the guy to the ground? And it's just another fight at the gym. Andrew Reale arrives. I go outside, sit in the backseat of Andrew Reale's vehicle. Perry, from the time I'm on the bench press to when I'm in Andrew Reale's police vehicle, who am I harassing? Andrew Reale walks around to the side of the vehicle after he told Jermaine Benman what to say, and Jermaine Benman says to me, I want to press charges against you. Those 7 words, I'm charged with harassment second. How many people in the United States of America have been charged with harassment second sitting in the backseat of a police vehicle? I'll guess I'm the only one. I exited the vehicle. I looked at this. It says harassment second. I'm thinking this is not good for me. But I didn't know at the time what was in Penfield Town Court. I was thinking any reasonable, rational person is going to understand that I'm not harassing anyone. How can I be harassing anyone? I walked over there, the Penfield Town Court, for my appearance. charged with criminal contempt when that's not a crime, charged with harassment second when I'm not harassing anyone. And John P. Lomenzo Jr. just declares me guilty without the prosecutor talking. She stood there in total silence. She even looked away at one point because I was on my knees in Penfield Town Court. They were pushing down on my shoulder from behind me, and I wasn't resisting. It's just when the handcuffs came out, I took a step away, and I was about to be in shock about knowing I was going to jail. So I took a step away, and the Monroe County Sheriff Officer had his hands on me and pushed me to the ground, and I was on my knees in Penfield Town Court, and I screamed, "You're violating my rights." This is what happens at a Jonestown. You work at a Jonestown, Perry. And, Perry, since you're refusing to tell me the name of your assistant district attorney who doesn't talk in Penfield Town Court in a public proceeding, and I'm demanding the names, 2 names. I'm demanding 2 names in a public proceeding in a courtroom, and you're refusing to tell me. So, Perry, I got a shirt for you. This is the shirt you need to wear. Wear this shirt. You can buy this online. This is it. This is the Perry Duckles shirt here. You see? It says, "I'm not a psychopath. I'm a high-functioning sociopath." Do your research. So do your research and buy this shirt, Perry, because you got to be a high-functioning sociopath to refuse to give me a name in the proceeding that violated my rights for John P. Lomenzo Jr. and refuse to give me a name in the proceeding that violated my rights before Paul C. Metzler. What is your favorite flavor, Perry? Is it the cherry? Is it the grape? Is it the orange? You could go to the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters of Sheriff Todd Baxter, and you could get any Kool-Aid flavor you want there, for the district attorney's office. And when you go over there to Wegmans, you're going to see one of his whack jobs driving right by Wegmans. He's one of them right here. I'm going over there one day because I'm going to Gold's Gym, and here she comes driving right at me. Here she is right here. This is the official headquarters of bald-headed, party-switching, fascist stooge Todd Baxter. So, Perry, what do you think about a search warrant that's not a search warrant? Because this is it. I'm waiting for Todd Baxter's whack jobs to pound on the door, scream my name. I attach a utopia called hatred. Perry, I want to show the power of the JD. Think about the paper chase with John Houseman, with his big stick there in that movie there. And tell me the paper chase here, because I got paper in my hand. The Honorable Paul C. Metzler says search warrant. This is not a search warrant. It says proof by affidavit. Paul, you bald-headed, wig-wearing criminal. 70 affidavit. How did Leah LaRoque get in here? Perry, this is a search warrant. That's not a search warrant. She exited with my Chromebook because Leah LaRoque at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, this $91,000 criminal, is attempting to concoct a crime for me and reading my emails and looking at search history on my Chromebook. Proof by affidavit. It says here, this is the fanaticism of Todd Baxter right here, Perry. To any deputy sheriff of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and any other police officer in the state of New York. To any deputy sheriff. I don't know what the titles are at the sheriff's office, but it says any deputy sheriff. But hypothetically, if there are 20 deputy sheriffs, can all 20 come in here? This is the most alarming language in this concocted document that's not a search warrant. And any other police officer in the state of New York. Do you know where Montauk, New York is, Perry? It is the easternmost part of Long Island. I've been out there with my grandpa. We used to go fishing out there. I remember the first time he took me out there, he was telling me about the history of eastern Long Island. It's beautiful out there. That is the easternmost point of Long Island. So I've been out there, and I love being out there. And when I was 2 years, I was at SUNY Fredonia, we would go up to Buffalo sometimes. And I went to a Sabres game once with my suite mates. So I've been all over the state. I've been all the way up to Clinton County. I've been all the way down to the Chemung County, the southern counties in New York. I think I've been to about 50 counties in New York. It's only a handful I haven't been to. So I've been all over the state that I was born and raised in and I love. And if you were born and raised in New York, you love it too. And if you were not born and raised in New York, then you probably love New York too. Because who doesn't love New York? To any deputy sheriff, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and any other police officer in the state of New York. So can any other police officer in the state of New York, you bald-headed, wig-wearing criminal, Paul Metzler, from Montauk, New York to Buffalo, New York, down to Binghamton, up to Plattsburgh, across to Watertown, come into my residence? The answer is yes. It's not a hypothetical. The answer to that is yes. This is your fanaticism, Paul Metzler. And these are the blue gloves. These are your blue gloves, Leah LaRoque, you psychopath. What are you doing in my father's dresser with your blue gloves? My father gave me his dresser from when he was a child in Brooklyn. Nobody should be in my father's dress. It'll always be my father's dresser. It's the invasion of my life. My fanaticism, hatred, extremism, corruption should never happen in the United States of America to an innocent man. That's not a search warrant, you bald-headed, wig-wearing fanatic, Paul Messer. You understand me? So I'm going to tell the United States Department of Justice, proof by affidavit, there is no affidavit. So, this Perry is the check, $61.39. It's the money I had in my pocket. When Paul Messer just declares me guilty, it's the money I had in my pocket when I was attacked by a Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee. When they exited their vehicles, ran at me, knocked me down, my head slammed against the pavement. County of Monroe Officers, Sheriff, Inmate Fund account. This Todd Baxter, you bald-headed party-switching fascist stooge and fraud, should say Innocent Man Fund account. So Todd, baby, you see, they send me a new check, all right? I want it to say Innocent Man Fund account. Do you understand me? Michael Radwood, $0 employee. I've attached to YouTube about you, Michael. What the hell are you doing for $0? So, Perry, which one of these here at the district attorney's office doesn't talk? Because I know it wasn't you in all your glorious existence, Perry, $129,529. So you have on here your six-figure employees. We have the King of New York, Sandra Dorley. A number one, Sandra Dorley's paid $203,089. And now Perry, King of New York, A number one, Sandra Dorley, her salary should be reduced by $203,089 immediately. So we have here the district attorney's office, Perry. I'm going to read the $100,000 salaries. And I know you're going to be ecstatic when I do this. You're going to love the fact that I'm disclosing public information. Because you're a public employee and you believe in the free flow of information, and citizens should have communication with public employees, especially in the district attorney's office, so they can get to know each other. So, Perry, we're going to be real buddies here when I read these six-figure salaries from the district attorney's office, okay? We have Amanda Balling, $108,338. Todd, you going to be pounding on the door anytime soon? I'm waiting for you. You can be screaming my name outside. I'm waiting. Perhaps Todd will be able to get to reading these $100,000 salaries without one of you fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths screaming my name at the front door and banging on the back door. So, Amanda Boying, $108,338. Raymond Benitez, $117,798. Elizabeth Buckley, $115,302. Robin Catalano, $113,465. Michelle Crowley, $117,798. Perry Duckles, $129,525. David Dice, $103,599. William Gargan, $113,465. Julie Hahn, $117,798. Michael Harrigan, $108,338. Jennifer Hyatt, $100,188. Leah Mervine Merritt, $101,407. Mark Monahan, $123,817. Matthew Swartz, $117,798. Sarah Van Strydock, $113,465. Sarah, what do you do for $113,465 here? You're the last six-figure salary. Are you in charge of the speeding tickets that Todd Baxter's fanatic degenerates and sociopaths write? Are you paid six figures? Are you the Bureau of Speeding Tickets at the district attorney's office, Sandra Dorley? That's what I want to know, Sandra. So let me see here. At your Jonestown here. Now we have here Raymond Benitez, $117,798. Is that right, Raymond? I mean, Raymond, what are you doing to be pulling down that kind of cash money? I mean, who the hell are you closing out, Raymond, at the district attorney's office? I mean, what exactly is your job there for $117,798? I'm asking you. If someone from the Democrat and Chronicle, someone from the United States Attorney's Office, if some journalist or investigator asks you, Raymond, what do you do at the Sandra Dorley District Attorney's Office, $117,798? What is your answer? I mean, are you prosecuting a high school kid for stealing a Snickers bar from Wegmans for $117,798? That's what I want to know. I mean, really here. I mean, are you in charge of a guy that's going 48 in a 45 on Penfield Road, and you're going to nail this guy to the wall for going 3 miles an hour over? That's what I want to know, Raymond. So I'm confused as to what you do for this big money here $117,798 here. So I don't get that, Raymond. How's that going for? Raymond, I have a name here on the district attorney's list. I really want to meet him, Perry Har, and you need to introduce me to her. This is Monroe County Assistant District Attorney Catherine Trammell. So if you are Perry and you Raymond are going to concoct charges for me, Sheriff Todd Baxter, fanatics, degenerates, sociopaths, are going to concoct charges for me, and I have to go back to the Penfield Town Court. I want Catherine Trammell to be the one that stands in Penfield Town Court and doesn't talk for the obvious reasons. So I did laugh when I said that. So anyway, so. And Perry, perhaps you've seen Todd Baxter with his staff, because he had a staff meeting recently, and you need to talk to Sheriff Baxter, because you have to work with these fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths, because here he is right here, right? Here he is on the right. This Sheriff Baxter, and this is Deputy Sheriff Herman Gehring, and this is Deputy Sheriff Joseph Goebbels, and this is Deputy Sheriff Albert Spare here. So he's got a lot going on there, and they're out there, waving the flags there in Rochester. I don't quite get that. And this guy here is really need to be talked to here at the sheriff. This is at the sheriff's office. This is one of his new employees on the payroll here. I'm going to show you the salary. I'm going to open it up. This is one of his six-figure cops here. This guy right here. I just want to make sure this is $101,843. This is one of Todd Baxter's $100,000 cops. This is $101,000 Monroe County Sheriff Office employee Derek Vineyard. See this? And then he has his tattoo right here. This tattoo is required for every Monroe County Sheriff Office employee the first day on the job. So this guy could be possible problems at the sheriff's office there. So anyway, Harry, what's the name of your assistant district attorney? Doesn't talk. What's her name? Tell me her name. They're coming for me, Perry, and I'm not going to the Penfield Town Court. They're imposing a bench trial upon me for sending an email to people I've never met, demanding if they own this land. I'm walking my wonderful little guy. This is what these parasites, Neeraj and Layla Kumar Shah, sent me. A land that has no ownership. I used to take him right here, walk him along this land here, get to the land. This is the document these parasites sent me 4,000 times. This is the fanaticism you have to work with. So I adopted my wonderful little guy from Lollipop Farm Humane Society. He's a Shih Tzu. Went to the cages with my ex-girlfriend, Laura. He's sitting there and he's looking up at us. Laura said to me, he's looking right at me. He was really looking at both of us, and we adopted him. All I'm doing is walking my dog the same way every day for 7 years and 4,000 times. This is what you have to work with. Neeraj and Layla Kumar Shah at 2041 Penfield called the sheriff's office after their employees screaming at me, and there they are at my front door demanding my little guy. You have to work with these fanatics, degenerates, sociopaths. How do you work with these people? How do you exist with these people? Do you have a dog, Perry? I'll guess you do have a dog, because tens of millions of people have a dog there is the reason why. I believe it's a simple reason. Because your dog brings joy to your life. This is why people love their dogs as much as their family members. And here they are at my house from Baxter, Jonestown, demanding my dog. Why don't you just call me, Sheriff Todd Baxter, or your employees, I should say. Why don't your employees just call me because you want to exercise power? That's why. This is why people hate the police. I've never seen a hatred for the police in the United States of America like I see today. This is why. Coming to my house to take my little guy. All I'm doing is walking him the same way every day for 7 years and 4,000 times. And here you are demanding this is a vicious confrontation my neighbor watching. They're screaming at me, demanding my dog, the Monroe County Sheriff Office employees. And I said, you have to kill me to take my little guy. This are my exact words. This is what you have to work with, Perry. I don't know how you can possibly exist with these people. I really don't. I mean, it's hatred. It's an unrelenting hatred from the employees at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. And I have sympathy for you because I don't know you. And if I'm casting aspersions upon your character, I'm really trying to avoid that. But since I have absolute and total contempt from your office, I have absolute and total contempt for the employees. Just tell me the names of your employees, your assistant district attorneys, if that's the right title, who don't talk in Penfield Town Court, Perry. I'm going to conclude. Redirect defense away from Penfield Town Court, Paul C. Metzler, and James P. Mully Jr. Send it to another jurisdiction, and you can achieve that. If you believe in innocence. My name is Chris Chichester. I have never committed a crime.